Hi people, welcome back to my Walking Dead Wednesdays video. Today's video is going to be about episode 6 of season 7 of The Walking Dead called Swear. And yes, I am wearing a Christmas jumper. I know it's not quite December yet, but it's cold outside and this is nice and cozy, so whatever. So this episode of The Walking Dead mainly focused on Tara and Heath and a brand new community. So far this season, of course season 6, we had the Hilltop and the Saviors, but so far this season we've had 2 more new communities coming in. So at the moment we currently have a bulk cast of people from Alexandria, people from the Sanctuary, the Saviors, people from the Hilltop, people from the Kingdom, and now a new group of just women from Oceanside. So this episode was a nice, slow-paced episode. I don't want to say it was boring because it still held my attention throughout the whole of the episode, but again, not much happened in terms of moving the story along, at least the main story. But at the end of the day, Tara and Heath had been gone for 2 weeks, and you know, they didn't have to tell the story of where they'd been, but obviously because they were introducing this new community, I think it was better to actually tell the story on screen rather than having Tara coming back and just saying, oh well, me and Heath went on the run, but then we got overtaken by walkers, I fell off a bridge, and then obviously because she doesn't want to say anything about Oceanside, instead of saying, and then I met all these women who tried to kill me, she would probably just say, but then I got back up on the bridge, Heath had gone, and I just made my way back home. But instead of doing that, they actually decided to show it. I mean, they didn't actually show what Tara and Heath had been doing throughout the 2 weeks, they just showed at the very end of their 2-week run, and Heath does actually mention that they had been on 2 weeks, it's been 2 weeks, so let's go back home, regardless of the fact that they hadn't found much. And again, Heath and Tara knew nothing of a lot of things. The last time they were with the group was when they pretty much decimated everybody at the outpost of the Saviors. They don't know about Denise, they don't know about the Saviors being more of them, they don't know about Glenn, and they don't know about Abraham, and they don't know about Negan visiting Alexandria and taking all their stuff. So yeah, Tara falls off a bridge during a fight with a load of walkers. Heath seemingly disappears, and we actually don't see him again for the rest of the episode, and we don't actually know where he is. At the end of the episode, Tara sees some tracks, some tyre tracks, and a little packet of something, and it says PPP on it, and Tara says, I hope that was you, meaning Heath. Don't know what PPP means, don't know where Heath is. I would have assumed he would have made his way back to Alexandria, but obviously when Tara goes back there, he's not there, because I think if he was there, they would have shown Tara and Heath seeing each other in Alexandria. If he is there, I think it is a bit of a silly move to not show him and Tara reuniting when they got back to Alexandria. So yes, this new group of people, Oceanside, the group Oceanside, or rather the Oceanside community, appears in the comics, but they are a lot different to this particular community. I think the only thing that's really similar is the name and the fact that they live by the Oceanside. So obviously the first thing I kind of noticed was, firstly, they have quite a few kids there, which is, I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing, but they've got a lot of kids, but they have no men. And obviously Tara notices this when she is captured by them, and almost killed, because their philosophy is shoot a brand new person on sight, don't ask questions, just do it. And I get that, I do understand that, But obviously when it's somebody from Alexandria and you know, watching it, you know that they're not dangerous, but there's nothing really that can be done about that. If this other group doesn't trust anybody out there, then, you know, people from Alexandria or the Hilltop may very well just be shot on sight, and that will be the end of it, because that's just their philosophy. But luckily, obviously, because it's The Walking Dead and because it's the writers, they were able to make sure that Tara wasn't just shot on sight, and she was introduced, as well as us being introduced to this new community with no men. And the reason they don't have any men is because some other group decided to line them all up and shoot them all in the head. And when Tara mentions to them that her group had killed a load of people in a satellite, a building with a satellite on top of it, Beatrice, one of the women in the Oceanside, gives a look to the leader, and it's like, okay, we know what happened there. The Saviours came along and shot all the men. So Oceanside were working for Negan at that point, and then obviously they decided to rebel, so they decided to shoot all the men. And then they ran away and built up the Oceanside community. Maybe Negan himself didn't line up all the men and shoot them in the head, but that definitely sounds like a thing that the crazy maniac Saviours would do. Or maybe Negan, you know, asked Rick to cut Carl's arm off and he didn't do it, but maybe the women of the Oceanside who also have, they look like they would be like Rick and they would give that look of defiance, maybe they pushed it a little bit too far and Negan actually asked them to kill all the men. So at the end of the episode, when Tara finally escapes, being helped out by Cindy, who is a member of the Oceanside, she promises not to tell anybody about Oceanside, and she does keep her promise when she gets back to Alexandria at the end, and Rosita is pushing and asking if there was anywhere that she found that had an armory or anything that they could use. She kept her promise and she didn't tell them. This was not a one-off. The Oceanside community will be back on the show again. I mean, it would be really silly to have that whole episode in the first place if this group were not going to be coming back and being a bigger part of the rebellion against Negan and the Saviours. But obviously for now, I think it was a good thing, at least from Tara's point of view, to not tell Rosita or Rick or anybody from Alexandria that she'd found a community that had a lot of guns, because she knows firsthand what they're like. She knows that they won't ask questions, they'll just shoot. And especially if people like Rick and Michonne come storming along into Oceanside and threatening people, they're gonna get killed. And that, again, it's all about guilt and laying blame on other people. Tara would blame herself for that because she was warned by Oceanside. They said that they kill people on sight, they don't ask questions, everybody else out there in the world is dangerous. She, through a series of events, got lucky. That's not going to happen every time somebody goes over there, even if it's the people that we are rooting for in Alexandria or Hilltop or the Kingdom. So they're going to have to meet at some point. Are people going to die because Oceanside defend themselves and they just kill people on sight? I don't know. I hope not, because Oceanside are definitely a community that can be brought together with Alexandria to defeat Negan. So I hope they don't end up like killing some of our good guys, because then their sort of, I don't know, reputation would be tarnished by the fact that they ended up killing some of our guys. So it's like, would we really want you on our side after you just killed our men or women or whatever? I don't know about that. Of course, Rick did kill somebody at the Hilltop, but you know, we'll let that one slide. That's Rick. We'll just let that one slide. So yeah, I'm glad that they did tell this story for Tara and for Heath, and for introducing the new community of Oceanside. And I think the way that the episodes are going, that they are very slow paced and that there is a little bit of action in each episode, but it's very sort of storytelling based at the moment. It's not going to be like that forever. We know Walking Dead, after watching 7 seasons of it, we've seen moments or bulk episodes of just action-packed, non-stop killing, fighting, everything like that. And then we've seen like almost whole seasons or whole half seasons that have been slower paced, bit of tension, bit of action in the episodes, but more just the storytelling and moving all the character developments forward. And then especially at the end of season 4, we've seen bottle episodes where we've only been focused on 1 or 2 characters who are with each other. We haven't gone back and forth between people in different places. So season 7 is kind of using all of that. I mean, apart from the premiere, which it wasn't particularly action-packed, but there was so much tension and so much brutality that it was a very sort of, it was one of those episodes where you have to catch your breath, and at every moment you don't know what's going to happen. Whereas the other 5 episodes that we've had after that so far have been storytelling, character development based, moving the story along, little bit of tension, little bit of action, but not much. So because there's been so much of that, I think it's pretty inevitable that the mid-season finale, episode 8, something has got to happen in that episode that then just starts a spiral of Rick being like, right, that's it, I've had enough of Negan that I can take, we're going to war, getting prepared for war, trying to get all these different communities to rally with Alexandria, getting loads of weapons, everything like that. That will probably take place in the latter half of season 7. And then when the actual war against Negan begins, if it begins in the TV show, if they're going to go that way, I mean, I think it's inevitable that they will have a rebellion against Negan. That will probably start happening in season 8, or at least the last episode of season 7 is going to be some sort of definitive proof that we are now going to war. No more cowering, no more working for him. It's going to be like a season 4 finale type thing where Rick turns around and is like, they're screwing with the wrong people. We're going to know that Alexandria is about to fight, and season 8 hopefully will be like completely action-packed. But you know, be careful what you wish for, because with action-packedness comes a lot of character deaths, and who knows who is going to die. Everybody is expendable, really, when you think about it. In a zombie apocalypse, when a war is happening and, you know, guns are going off everywhere, you know, in a real life zombie apocalypse you don't have plot armor or being the main character to save you. So luckily it's The Walking Dead and it is a TV show, so we do have some characters that we can guarantee are going to be safe, but the others not so much. So those were my thoughts on episode 6 of season 7 of The Walking Dead. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of the episode and what you think next week's episode is going to bring. It's called Sing Me a Song, and if you're a comic book reader you'll probably have a pretty good idea of what that means. So I will see all you guys in the next video. Bye!